Hey everybody, my name is Melonie Carideo and I'm the general manager up here in East Tennessee in Knoxville. We had done a pop-by class in Destin a couple of years ago, and it kind of came up in conversation the other day. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about pop-bys, but I want to start by talking about prospecting. I know that nobody likes to do prospecting, but if I challenged you with the fact that if you would want to be on the top tier of agents in your area, the National Association of Realtors says that 80% or the of 80% of the top 20 tier prospects 4 to 5 hours a day. Now, you guys may think, oh my gosh, I can't sit here for 4 hours and write handwritten notes. Well, that's not all that prospecting is. Prospecting is being out in your community, servicing your community, volunteering, calling your clients. Prospecting can be wearing your name badge going to Lowe's. So there's a lot of things that prospecting can be. But we all know we need to prospect. We love to sit in classes like this where we get ideas, right? But what we don't like to do is actually apply them. So I really want to talk to you about some things that are actually applicable prospecting. So you might want to just grab, I'm not going to be doing, I really feel like a third grade teacher today. I'm so excited. I have my dining room table all spread out with some tricks and tools. So you might want to just grab a piece of paper and a pencil, because we're going to kind of go old school today, and I'm going to do some show and tell. But before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about what prospecting is. So there are two types of prospecting. And first of all, let's go back a little bit. So years ago, our marketing directors would say, hey, you need a sphere of influence and a list of people that you know of 500 people, and this is what's going to create your mailing campaigns. And we talk about that, and those marketing gurus have always said that there's a formula: out of 500 people, 100 of them will remember you, blah blah blah. Well, throughout the years, we've taken our job as agents into, instead of just service providers, we're trusted advisors. And Crye-Leike's mission is that you are able to create your raving fan base. So out of your 500, there is a great article actually in last month's CRS magazine, and I cut it out because we talk about this all the time when we're teaching, and it's about ranking and rewarding your referral base. So I'm going to call it ranking and rewarding your raving fan base. So what does that mean? So you've got a sphere of influence. We hope that you have a sphere of influence, and you may or may not have put them in the intranet under contacts. You're going to take those lists of people and you're going to rank them. And this is sort of old school, but the CRS just this month was bringing sort of some of this old school stuff back, because I think we get so techie that we forget old school techniques. And one of those things was to take the list and rank them. Are they an A+? Are they people that would feed, house, and clothe your family? Do they care about your success and your family? Are they B people? And I call B people, those are usually our friends and family. You have to have them on your list, but they may not actually, use you, but they'll pretend like they will. And then you've got everybody else, which is basically everybody that you know. So you want to get those A+ people, and you want to bring them into a smaller group, and you want to rank them. And what we want to do is try to go from a sphere of influence to a raving fan base. I am going to challenge you to come up with 20 people, all right? 20 people that love you, adore you, and want to see you succeed. Now listen to me, this is not 20 people that need to buy a house. These are 20 people that want your business to grow. They are 20 people that when they think about real estate, they think about you. I'm going to give you an example. So here in our sweet town of Nyota, Tennessee, which is right outside of Athens, we have a huge factory called Crescent Hosiery. Ladies, if you've ever been to an airport, you've probably seen Crescent Hosiery product. It's called the world's softest socks. And they're always at airports. I don't know why. But the owner of that factory has a lake house. She has an apartment in town, and then she has her home. Okay, she does not need Melonie Carideo to sell her house, but she does not go a moment without being in contact with a lot of people that are coming into our market or leaving our market because she owns a huge factory. And I can promise you that I'm the name that she gives. I think I'm currently working 3 different listings right now that were referrals from her. So she is someone that cares about my success and cares about my family. Okay, that's an example of people that want to feed, house, and clothe you. It might be your mama, it might be your best friend, but it could just be people you've done business with. So I want to challenge you to come up with your raving fan base, because pop buys don't really work. I mean, they could work, but they're not designed for a large group of people. All right. So there are 2 kinds of prospecting. There's passive prospecting and proactive prospecting. You need to be doing both. So I'll say that again. There's passive prospecting and proactive prospecting. Passive prospecting, I'll give you some examples. A mailing campaign, sending out jumbo postcards, sending out your e-cards every month. Those are passive things that you need to do. They need to become part of your culture. So every Monday or the first Monday of every month, I'm going to send an e-card out. I'm going to go into Quantum and I'm going to set up a mailing campaign. These are things that you do that you don't expect immediate results, but they remind people that you're still working, okay? For example, every time you get a new listing, you need to send an e-flyer to every person. Not because the people in your sphere of influence are looking for a commercial building, but because you want to let them know, hey, Melonie's got a new listing. That means she's still working. Those are passive techniques, okay? Let's talk about proactive techniques. Proactive techniques are exactly what we learn in Ninja. Those are things where you are asking for the business, specifically asking for the business. Now, Ninja, by the way, a lot of their techniques are on the intranet. If you don't know where to find those, let me just tell you, if you will go to our training tab on the intranet, you can click on prospecting, which is one of the options. And under prospecting, there are literally a dozen tabs of different things that you can do to prospect. There are some things like this, your daily tracker. It's basically a piece of paper that keeps you on task. There is also developing your center of influence or your sphere of influence, and it's just a list of things that will stem your conversation or will remind you of somebody you want to put on your list. Please utilize Crye-Leike intranet training tab prospecting. You will see a ton of information on there, okay? And some of the things that's on there are things that you need to be doing every day, every week. There is actually a plan on there from Ninja that says you should be making these many calls, you should be writing these many letters. Those are proactive prospecting techniques. So if you go to the drive-in and you want a hamburger and French fry, but you only order a hamburger, you're not getting a French fry. And that's just how it works. You have to ask for the order. Is that fair? So there are a lot of different proactive techniques, but today I wanted to talk to you about just a couple of things that you can do very simply. So if you were on the intranet class last week, we talked a little bit about Bys Fun. Bys Fun has its own class, by the way, but there is something on there that you can proactively do today, and that is to go into Bys Fun on the intranet. And if you don't know how to get there, I'm about to tell you the steps. You're going to go to the intranet. You're going to go to tools. You're going to go to Bys Fun. When you get into Bys Fun, you're going to click on the top is Marketing Suite. Marketing Suite. And then at the bottom of the page, it's going to say that you can share this on social media. Well, what is it? Well, it's an invitation for people to see the value of their homes. All right. So once again, just to review, you're going to go to Tools, Bys Fun, Marketing Suite. and share on social media. So you can click Facebook, Twitter. By the way, there's a drop-down menu box that will show you 100 different social venues that you could share that on. I just got several leads from that. I try to do it about once a month. And it's an immediate processing. So you can get people that want to know their value of their home. We can also, we're going to talk about a few other proactive techniques and also how to rank and reward your raving fan base in just a minute. So let's talk about pop buys, which is one of the reasons why we're here today. So you can Google, not right now because then you won't listen. You can Google real estate agent pop buy ideas. And I'm saying pop as in P-O-P-B-Y. Real estate agent pop buy ideas. You can Google that and you will find 50 badillion trillion ideas. Now, if you are a crafty person, you will love this. You'll see all these crafty realtors and they've got perfect little labels and perfect little bows and ribbons and all this stuff. Okay, listen, that is not me. I am the person you invite to your craft store to buy your crafts. I am the least craft. You give me a tub of clay and that's exactly what you're getting back is a tub of clay. Not artsy. So at first I thought, okay, pop buys are not for me because I'm not artsy, I'm not creative. And then I realized, hold on a second. Let's talk about what pop buys really are. So let's go back to where pop buys began. It's a Brian Buffini technique. Brian Buffini is a real estate motivation and educational company by Brian Buffini, who is a sweet little immigrant and started a real estate empire. His idea was that you would call your client. So let's say I would call Carol Williams. Hey, Carol, it's Melonie Carideo with Crye-Leike. Just wondered if you're going to be by the office. I was going to pop by and see you for a second. And then you would do that. You would pop by. You would take them something, a little something of value, a little something to make them laugh. And you could talk about real estate. And then you go on to the next pop by. Okay, well, here's my thing. That is fantastic. I think it's a great concept and agents are doing it. Top agents are doing this. Melonie Carideo doesn't really want to talk to anybody because I have a time management issue of trying to get everything in. So I don't call. This is just me. I don't call. I really do just pop by. And I kind of hope that whoever I'm popping by at may or may not be there. And I'll tell you why. So let's say I go by Crescent Hosiery owner, and she's never there, by the way. So I stop by with my goldfish, okay? And I say, hey, could you make sure Sandra gets this? And the secretary sees it. She always laughs because I always bring something absolutely asinine that is ridiculous to their office. She laughs. She puts it on her desk. The other 4 people in the office laugh. Well, guess what? Now what? I've got 5 people that just saw my pop by, and they are not even getting my goldfish. And then, of course, the person who I'm trying to remind them that I exist gets the goldfish. So why am I talking about goldfish? And I'll get to that in a minute. So the pop by is simply a way to massage and reward your raving fan base. I do it once a month. Now, I do not recommend you have more than 20. I have 12. Right now I have 12 people. So once a month I get in my car and I've got a little route. When I leave my driveway, I go to the doctor guy that I love so much, and then I go to his ex-wife because she loves me. And then I go and make this route, and I basically just pop by and I drop off my little something. So what is that something? And I'm going to show and tell you some ideas. But here's the thing. I've given you about a dozen ideas. So one for every month. If you did this every month, if you did it for 20 people, and you can do this for less than $20 a month. Now, I don't know what y'all are doing to advertise yourself, but I can promise you pop buys will become a part of your culture that will be the cheapest, most effective return on your investment that you've ever done. And if you'll put it in your phone, and that's appointment with yourself, and you keep it, you will see an enormous loyalty foundational concrete block that you're constantly building underneath yourself. Okay, so here's what I do. Like I said, you can go and get some ideas, but the first thing you want to do is you need to have some labels. Well, Melonie doesn't have labels, but I've gone to my computer screen and I have written a little sweet funny, and underneath, and this is on your documents, you're going to have a little something. Let's say it's my goldfish. Okay, I'm going to say one line, just one line that says something like, hey, I'm fishing for business, can you help me? And remember, I'm never too busy for your referral. And it's got my name and phone number. That's it. That's all it says. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can put this up to the screen and you can see how ridiculously simple that is. Okay, so check this out. This is how hard it and how long it takes me to do a pop-by. Okay, I print off my saying, and yes, you can put it on pretty colored paper. You can put your business card on there if you want to. You can put little stickers on it. Here's Melonie's pop-by. Booth, tape, label, goldfish. Bam. I'm delivering it to 12 people and they're like, she's so retarded, I love her. Okay, that's how easy this is. You know what's not easy? You doing it. Because it is so ridiculously easy that you don't think that there's actually a benefit to this. But I hope that you'll understand the benefit in creating your raving fan base. Now, I'm going to give you some ideas which are on the handout sheet and maybe a few others. So I have a little competition with one of my agents in Knoxville. She's always at Walgreens in the clearance department or the $1 place, because I can promise you can do 20. I try not to ever spend more than $1, but I usually don't even spend that much. Now listen, once a year, maybe twice a year, I'll go crazy and go over $1. And we'll talk about those events in a second. So I'm going to give you some ideas. On this page, there are 12 months of ideas. So the first one, because you deserve a little extra, poof, extra gum. And remember, I always put, remember, I'm never too busy for your referral. Okay, my favorite one is have your peeps call my peeps. And I use peeps. And the peeps that I had out of my daughter's Easter basket are gone, so I can't show you peeps, but everybody knows what peeps are. Here's the great thing about peeps. Peeps used to be for Easter, right? Like chickens and stuff. Now they got a peep for everything. They got peeps Santa Clauses, peep Christmas trees, peep snowflakes for winter. You can use peeps all year long, but I just love have your peeps call my peeps. And remember, I'm never too busy for your referral. Here's another new favorite. I seriously love being your trusted realtor. Huh? Listen, people that work and their desk love stuff to eat. So yes, almost everything I'm showing you today is food, but I love this one. This was the one that I used in March. I seriously love being your trusted advisor. There's another one that's good, and I couldn't find it because I think it's kind of a fall thing. Have you guys ever seen the Tootsie Roll, the little Tootsie Roll banks? You can get those at Walgreens on sale, and I love that one because I'll put on there like, you can take my service to the bank, or do you need good service? You can bank on me. People love that stuff. Retarded. Do you understand how retarded all of this is? But it's so fantastic. My service is nothing to sneeze at. Tissue. You can get these bad boys 7 for $1 sometimes at CVS. So now I've got a huge 30-cent investment. There's no crying in real estate. Also a good one for tissue. Lots of stuff you can use tissue for, especially during pollen season. You know, you can be like, talk about pollen. I don't know about y'all, but I'm covered in green again, my car. Here's one. The market is hot, hot, hot. Call me and let me tell you about it. Okay. Anything that has to do with hot, the market is hot, which I know for a fact you guys are doing, need to be doing this right now because your market is hot. hot. We got hot chocolate. I got some hot hands. You can use red hot candies, all kinds of things you can do with hot, okay? This is going to be a great month. This is going to be a great month. You could use a little jar of honey. You could use bits of honey candy. So many ideas. I hope your summer is cool and you could use a packet of Kool-Aid. I have one that I use in April. This is a poncho. I don't know if you can see these super cheap ponchos. Again, you can get these for $1.39. I buy them in bulk. And don't let real estate rain on your parade. All kinds of rainy season things that you can use. Also during hurricane season, which is kind of silly. Call me for the latest real estate scoop, and you can get plastic ice cream scoops. That's a good one for the summer. And of course, you know, right now you can just use some hand sanitizer if you can get your hands on any, or Bath and Body Works is back open and you can go and get the foam soap, which they say is what's supposed to really kill the germs during COVID. And you could just put a note on there, you know, stay safe, stay positive, or stay calm and call your realtor. That's a really good one. Everybody loves the stay calm. So many ideas, and they should not cost you anything. Because here's the thing you have to remember. These are people that already love you. That's why I don't spend time with ribbon and bows and fancy paper. Although I could. It's just, first of all, anybody who knows me knows that's not me anyway. Second of all, it's not even about that, because remember, this is not, I'm not going to like a PTA new parent meeting where they don't know me. These are people that already know me. So why am I going to go down that particular landslide? But you definitely can. You can also use these pop-by ideas if you go to, let's say you have a college in your town and it's welcome day. That's something we always do here in Athens because we have a small college here, and you want to put some big baskets of trinkets. Listen, college kids love this stuff. Are you kidding me? Like, they will love you. Now, listen, the college kid's not going to call you to buy a house, but their mama might decide they don't want to pay, you know, tuition after the second year of living on campus, and you're able to get your business card. So you can use the same ideas that for pop-by for other prospecting events. But I would love for you, oh, here's one. I didn't show you this. Here's one that is super good. This is a magazine that comes out at my local Chamber of Commerce, and it comes out every year. And so whenever those come out, I take them as my pop-by and say, hey, our city is growing and changing. I'd love to talk to you about real estate. And remember, I'm never too busy for your referrals. So you don't have to be creative, because I've done some of the work for you today. I've given you a handout. Also, you can Google more ideas. And more importantly, don't forget to use the resources that are in your town, okay? Chamber of Commerce and those kind of things. So that's just some ideas on pop-bys. I will promise you, you will become addicted. If you jump in on the pop-by bandwagon, you're going to become addicted, and you're going to tap into a creative side of you. So one of my agents in Knoxville and I will call each other when we're at Walgreens or CVS, and she'll be like, look at this. What can I say about this product? And so we'll just sit there and think of something stupid of what we can come up with her dollar item that she just saw. So like there was one that was like little slicers, I don't know, like cheese slicers, and you know, so we were like a slice above the rest, and just silliness. And if you're not creative, it's okay. If you're not a pretty crafty person, it's also okay. The most important thing is that once a month you are massaging your raving fan base. Now, let's talk about stuff that's more than $1. First of all, if y'all can't invest $20 a month in your business, we need to have a chat. 593-8713. Let's talk about to the next level. Okay, so twice a year I do something a little nicer for my raving fan base. I have a pie pickup, and then I have a ham drop off. I stole both of those ideas, by the way, from other agents. And I think Carol was even talking about a pie pickup at one of her agents does in Memphis. So a pie pickup is where you are actually you're flipping the pop by idea on your clients, and you'll just send them a note saying, hey, I've loved popping by your office. Now I hope that you'll pop by mine Tuesday from 2 to 4 or whatever, and get your pie for Thanksgiving. All right. And then I do ham for Christmas. So I do that in December. So I turn the pop buys and I flip them. And that's something, and again, this is just to my raving fan base. And I don't think anyone's ever really turned me down. If they can't come, they send a kid, or, you know, they'll text me and say, can you stay late? And it's really super fun for them to see you in your environment for a change, right? And it also is great because you get to show off, you know, the beautiful lobbies and environments that Crye-Leike provides for us. Now, let's talk about some other prospecting events, especially because we're rolling into summer and hopefully we're rolling out of COVID. So people are going to be jonesing to get out of the house and do something. So let's talk about prospecting fan events. You don't need to be afraid of fan events. I think when top agents talk about fan events, the medium producer or the brand new agent is like, excuse me, like I can't be renting out a movie theater. I don't have that kind of money. I'm not that kind of agent. Listen, folks, you can do fan events very, very, very cost effectively. And sometimes those are even more intimate and better. So let me give you some fan events that top agents are always talking about is, you know, I rent out a movie theater and I invite my raving fan base, or you know, you notch it up to your A+ SOIs, like the 100 out of 500, and invite them. Now listen, that idea is not a bad idea right now. Why? Because movie theaters haven't been open. A. B, they're probably dying to do something just to get some butts in seats. So I'm not poo-pooing the movie idea. I think that's actually an idea that we might can afford. But you'll hear a lot of ideas like that. But let's talk about creating a fan event that is obtainable. So, for example, you can do a pop by to your office for free hot dogs, you know, or lunch on Melonie. That is something that everybody can do. Hot dogs and chili. You can do it at your office. You can do it in your front yard. You don't have to have people in your personal home, but there are opportunities for you to go. You can do it in a park. So don't be afraid of doing things like that. Santa pictures, very popular. Last year, our North Knoxville office, instead of doing Santa pictures, they did Grinch pictures, which was hysterical. And our local AE from the Knoxville Association of Realtors, we invited him to come and be the Grinch, which I also thought was a bit funny. And we had a dog and everything. And our clients came by and took pictures with the Grinch. Super fantastic. And it became an office event. So if you're a brand new agent or you're a medium producing agent, maybe you go in with a few other agents to do a raving fan event. Pool parties, if you're lucky enough to have a pool, or maybe you have a membership to your local HOA pool, or maybe you have a membership at a country club that you could have a pool party for your clients. Don't be afraid to think out of the box when it comes to things like that. The most important thing about your raving fan base and your A+ sphere of influence is that they feel connected to you. You're going to hear from your broker, you got to reach out, you got to reach out, you need to make 4 phone calls a day, you need to write 5 letters. Yes, all of that. You need to do all of that. However, hello, kitty cat. Hi, kitty cat. Somebody's kitty cat. Mine is in the background. But don't be afraid of doing things, you know, out of the box. People love that. There's a few more things that I want to highlight regarding prospecting, especially when it comes to passive and proactive prospecting. So I'm just going to kind of turn this back around to the beginning here. So some additional proactive techniques that we've learned through Ninja, Leader's Choice, and all of these other campaigns that we've done with Crye-Leike. First of all, people, you do not have to recreate the wheel. Please, please go to the internet. Our education directors, brokers have spent years creating information for you on the internet. I would be shocked if you guys had actually delved into all the information that's on there. You need to be taking advantage of all of those techniques. There are a few more other fun things that you can do that are proactive besides handwritten notes and phone calls. Open houses now are a challenge because people want to be outside. So maybe you do open decks instead of an open house, where you're on the back deck and you stay on the back deck and you let people come and gather in 5 or 10 minute increments. You can still put the ad on Facebook, still put the ad in the newspaper, but just say, hey, you need to make an appointment with me for my open deck / open house. And so you can have someone on the deck and you can create 6-foot social distancing while you're talking to them, while another client is walking through the house in their 5-minute appointment. That way it's a constant rotation. Someone's on deck while someone's at bat, and you're still getting people in those houses. So open decks, open houses are something that's still fun and that we can do. We just have to be smart. Yard sales, sponsoring community yard sales, something we used to do in the 90s and the early 2000s that are making a comeback. I don't know if you were out this past weekend, but I think because some of the restrictions were relaxed, all of a sudden everybody just went crazy. Every street I drove down this weekend, and I was showing property from like McMinn County to Knox County, there were yard sales, and there were just a billion people out. So now might be a great time to do a community yard sale. If you've never done one, they're so fun and they're so easy. All you have to do is drop a letter into that subdivision that you're interested in prospecting. Okay, so everybody has that subdivision or 3 subdivisions that they love and they want to market to that subdivision. Drop them a letter and say, hey, on this and such day, I'm going to be sponsoring a community yard sale for your neighborhood. I'm going to put the ad in the paper for you. I'm going to put it on Facebook. You can also put it on Facebook. If I'm going to come around, I'm going to put the sign in the neighborhood at the entrance to the neighborhood the day before. So I'm going to put the signs up for you. All you have to do is drag your junk out. Well, then that morning, you're going to take some Crye-Leike balloons and some business cards, and you're going to go visit the people that have drugged stuff out. And you're going to put a balloon on their mailbox that alerts the public that, you know, they're participating. But more importantly, you can talk to them. Hey, why are you cleaning out your basement? Was because you were bored during COVID, or are you thinking about selling? And you can create some great face-to-face relationships with the neighbors of the subdivision that you want to market to. You guys are always sending jumbo postcards to neighborhoods that you wish you could sell at, but you actually don't know anybody there. So this is a great way for you to get to know people in those subdivisions. Community yard sales. By the way, you can get an insert from marketing. I have, I think, 2 that literally says community yard sales sponsored by Crye-Leike Realtors and Melonie Carideo. So now I have a sign at the beginning of the subdivision marketing an event that I'm sponsoring, and I don't even have a listing in that subdivision. So that is magic. And I would encourage for you to try something like that, especially now that the market has changed and is moving and we want to be outside. Something else that you can do. So I'm hearing through the rumor mill that some sports are starting up. I know I have a daughter who went to soccer practice last week. There is some, goodbye children. There is some baseball, Little League baseball teams that have started up. Now is the time to get some bottled waters, get some stickers from marketing. I have a whole stack of stickers that says, Crye-Leike, it's a refreshing difference. Or you can do them yourself. Susan's laughing at that. I don't know how refreshing or different we are, but I think they're cute. So take the case of waters to the sporting events, all right? It's better to go to the sporting event with your business card or something like bottled waters or goldfish or packets of pretzels than to pay $50 for a banner. Not, it won't be $50, it'll be like $250 for a banner that's going to be at the baseball field. Okay, nobody cares about that crap. You've got to get face to face with people. Stop sponsoring things. Go spend 1/3 of the money and 45 minutes of your life and actually go to the event. Does that make sense? It is much, listen, there is not a mama of a sporting child that will not take your snack size pretzels that you can buy in Big Lots in a big old box for nothing and your bottled water. So consider something like that. I hope I've given you some ideas that are a little bit out of the box that you can use. Before we move on, I sort of just took a huge breath and never took a break. So do we have any questions about pop buys? I can't hear you, Susan.
We've been having all kinds of comments about, you know, how awesome this is, and just Dollar Tree is your friend, because what
Yes.
Melonie's talking about, I've been doing this for years, and Dollar Tree is your friend. And that whole pie thing, that's really easy to do. And also what you're talking about, going to sporting events, you can take those same water bottles and even those same snacks and go to your local walkway. Like we have a greenway in Cleveland, and there's a river walk in Chattanooga, and people are down there walking, and just go sit down at a picnic table or one of the benches and offer them bottled water. I mean, put them in little bags even if you need to, you know, so they'll take them from you. And Neil Hubbard says bakery treats or snacks make good quarantine treats right now.
Yes.
That is so true. I got a text the other day from one of our friends from church, and she said, check your front porch. I never even knew they were here, but they had made cookies and put, you know, like 2 or 3, I don't even remember how many cookies in a bag, and wrote on the clear plastic baggie, we sure miss you, you know, because we're not going to church, and just left it at our front door. I mean, just stuff like that. It's so easy to do.
You know, one of my favorite pop buys, the very first one I ever did was my Peeps, but the other one is, of course, Pop-Tarts. Pop-Tarts is a no-brainer. On the month when you just can't think, Pop-Tarts is a no-brainer. And again, remember, people at their workplace love snacks. And I'm going to just say that if you start making friends with the person secretary, the next time you come, slip one to her too. But not right off the bat. I love the fact that, like, I get people looking at me going, oh, what, there's not any for me? Because they have to know that you're not getting my free Pop-Tart packet that cost me 39 cents at the Big Lots unless, you know, we get to talk about real estate.
Oh, you crack me up.
It seems like there's a lot of great ideas going in the group chat. If you don't have the chat up on the side of your screen, you may want to pull it up. And I saw something about buy side. I think Susan answered that though. Any other questions? You're welcome to unmute yourself and talk if you want to throw anything out here. I hope that you will try to adapt this into your culture. I think we're so worried about being so techno-savvy sometimes that we forget that this is a relationship business. And we have to get back to the basics. Harold Cross says, every year he says to us, he doesn't care what you do, just do something. And he has said that so many times that if you've been here more than 5 years, you can probably finish that sentence that I was about to say. So here's my tools. Here's my tools for pop buys. Look, I've got my little ribbon, my tape, my piece of paper, and my scissors. And it's so fun. And let me tell you, you young agents out there, if you got kids at your house, put them to work. Tell them, hey, put this on here with a piece of tape, put this ribbon on here, make it pretty for me. If you got grandkids, bring them over. Hey, it's a great babysitting activity, and your pop buys are done. I don't want to admit this, but anybody who knows me knows that I'm just always on a wing and a prayer. I do this stuff in my vehicle. I have a bag of pop buys that I keep in my vehicle. I have a bag of pop buys that I keep at my Knoxville office, and then I've got a bag that I keep in my Athens office, because you just don't know. Now, granted, I do pop buys I do them every month, one Monday a month. That's always my pop buys, because Mondays are always like the day that my brain hurts from the weekend and I need to do something that makes my heart feel good. So maybe that's just me. But Mondays are just good for me because you haven't really gotten into the week yet. And I don't know if you guys are basketball fans, but Kentucky basketball coach years ago, Rick Pitino. If you've never read his book, Rick Pitino, he writes a great book. He's got short man's complex, but he's a great motivational speaker, and he was a great basketball coach. Unless, of course, you like Duke. Don't shoot me. Rick Pitino used to say, do the tough stuff first. He didn't say the word tough stuff. He said something else that I can't say on a recorded class. But anyway, he would say, do the blank first, the hard stuff, the tough stuff. And for most of us, prospecting is just, we know we need to do it, but we don't want to. So I do it on Monday morning once a month. I do my pop buys. You need to do the rest of your prospecting in the morning too, because it's so easy to make 5 phone calls and write 4 cards when you're still having coffee and you haven't really gotten going yet, you know? And guess what? I don't want to pop by anyone's place that's actually going to be there, but if they're there, obviously I want to talk to them about real estate. But if they're not, even better, because my whole idea is just to let them know I'm thinking about them. All right. And then don't forget your reverse pop buys at your office. And that's what I have today. So you've got some homework. You need to rank your sphere of influence, and then you need to create your raving fan base, and then you need to go and reward them. Is that fair? 3 R's. Rank, raving fan base, reward them. Any questions?
I don't see any questions. There's been comments, but I don't see any questions. Everybody's just saying great ideas, great.
Yeah, good ideas.
Yeah.
I'm learning some more ideas from you guys. And listen, use Crye-Leike marketing tools. Hey, guess what you should be doing this weekend? Right now, you should email your marketing and ask for 2 or 3 dozen flags. I've been doing this with my kids since she was 5 years old, and she's back from the Army for a month or 2. So guess what we're doing Saturday? We're going to walk up and down Ingleside Avenue and put flags out in everybody's yard. Now, you can put your, there's a little something that comes with them where you can put your business card on there. I don't, just because I don't, because everybody knows who puts them out every year. But I love it. It makes your subdivision beautiful. It makes your street beautiful. And again, there is a way for you to put your business card on there. So that is a no-brainer. Like, use the things Crye-Leike's already created. You don't have to be a marketing genius to work at Crye-Leike. We've done all the work for you. All you got to do is ask. Okay? I love y'all. Thanks.
Bye, everybody. And yes, I will email the documents. Glenn Henderson, you're in my area. I'll email those out. Thanks, guys.
If y'all need me to email something, just send me your email address. Susan and I both have it. Thank you.
Bye.